Well, racism has divided our country from the very beginning. The Declaration of Independence, they argued about should slavery be one of the grievances against the King of England. In the Constitutional Convention, we're divided. The South walks out at one point over slavery, and we end up with a 3/5 compromise because Benjamin Franklin said either we have a nation with the evils of slavery or we have no nation at all. Then we have the Civil War, right? And 500,000 folks die, and the Southern economy is totally destroyed, and there's no jobs for 20 years, and as the South's trying to rebuild itself. And then we move into segregation for another 100 years. And it wouldn't be, of course, to the civil rights movement, the modern civil rights movement, that things begin to truly change, where we have guaranteed rights. The 14th Amendment is held up, and everyone is given the same equality, not really equity, I don't think, but definitely the same equality. And then we have, several generations of people going to school together, where we're fully integrated. But the big question we have is why are things not better? Why do we still have a gap between African Americans and white Americans when they've been in school together now for 4 generations almost of school kids? What is happening? And then, of course, we get into the BLM movement and other things, and it's led to this cancel culture where there's been a lot of fighting back. It seems like whenever there's someone threatening the status quo, the other side comes back and attacks pretty hard because they feel like it's a personal attack rather than looking at what's actually happening. One example of cancel culture that a lot of people are familiar with is the thing that happened with Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. These were portrayed as stereotypes of African Americans, and so folks that don't understand the history behind this got very offended, and it eventually led to the companies changing the mascot, changing their image. But Aunt Jemima was actually an African American Texan who did great for herself at a time when African Americans in general, but especially not African American women, were able to accomplish a lot. That was her company. She built it. That was her image. I've taught history now for 28 years. And in this case, you're canceling history, African American history that should be celebrated and not brought down, for lack of a better term.